I have not started recording. Okay, so I was showing this option. So when you right click on this, so there are two things that you can see. So year, quarter, month, day, more. So year, quarter, month, day, more. So these two are different. So I'm going to tell you what is the difference between these two. So here you can see 2015. So this mostly these two are same. The year and year are same. But quarter, if you see, the above one is showing only the quarter, only quarter. The below one, it is a combination of year and quarter. And this one is month, and this one is month and year. So the below one is combination of month and year. Month and the date part, whichever mentioned. So it can be a year, quarter, sorry, year and date part. So if it is a quarter, so it will be year and quarter. If it is a month, year and month. And this will be only specific to that specific quarter or year. So it is only quarter, only month, only day, like this. So it is not combination of any year or anything. So now let's see the functions. So now if I click on this, so if I click on this here, so there is a function that is being written, so date part. So these are the specific functions that will be written by default. Tableau will write those functions, or you can use these functions, or you can manually write these functions. Okay, so date part. So if I select date part, year, order date, so I can see this thing. So now let's discuss about these top ones. I'm going to discuss about these top ones and the difference between this and this one. So in this sheet, I'm going to create date part. And then the other sheet I'm going to create this uses. So if I use this one, the function is different. So it uses a date trunc function. So now we'll see the difference and also what is the use of this particular function. So this is date trunc. So date part is basically, it is giving me the values for in the year. So let me take sales. So if you see the year here also it is giving you the same information. So if you, yeah. So here also it is giving you same information. It is same basically. So date trunc, date part, there is no difference. There is no much difference. So both are same. No much difference. This is also showing year data and that is also showing year data. So there is no much difference. And this also you can convert into continuous and discrete. Here also you can convert into continuous and discrete. So as we discussed earlier, so what is the use of having continuous mode? You will get the axis. So in continuous mode, you will get the axis model. In discrete, you will not see this axis. You will see the individual values. Okay, like this individual values can be shown. So that is about date part year. So we have seen, so in this date part, there is no difference. So now let's discuss about how this function is written. So even we can write a separate function like this. So the function that we have used here is date part. So I'm just cutting that year from the entire date. So I have months and I have years and I have everything. So if I take date, in this date, if I want to see all the days, day may make it discrete. So I have so many days in this. I have all the dates in this. I have all the dates in this, but I want to truncate or I want to separately show what is the year value. So in each and every day I can see some sales is there. But when I use separately date part, so I can see in the entire 2020 what is the value. So by using this function, I can get that thing. So if I use, I can write it separately as well. I can write a calculation field. Okay, so here what I'm doing is I'm just taking out the year. So instead of taking all the dates, I want to see what is the value for entire year. So by using this, I can get it. So here you can use this function. So you can write this function, or you can directly right click on this and you can click on this option. So which will automatically write the date part function. Okay, so now let's see the date part for quarter and date trunk for quarter. So basically these two are the functions. So we don't need to write manually. So you can select the option which is available. So double click on this. So by default, whenever you double click on that, you can see the year data and right click on this. So if you want to use date trunk, you can use quarter. Just a second. Ramachandran. Okay. So here I'm just using the quarter. So it is just giving me year and quarter. I'll just make it discrete. So here I can see the combination of year and quarter. So I'll just show you in the paint. So this uses date trunk. So this uses date trunk function and this uses date part function. So the above ones, if you select, so it will consider the function called date part. And if you select from the below, so Tableau will automatically write date trunk function. So basically what it does is, so it is just changing the middle part. So if you see, so if you want quarter related information, it is just changing. So date part function is similar for quarter, year, month, day, week. It is similar. So we are just changing this date part. So here also, if you want to see for quarter, so just you need to change here itself. So here you need to edit it as quarter. So now let's see what is the difference between these two. So here I'm selecting the above quarter. Here I'm selecting the below quarter. So if you see the difference here, so it is Q1 of all the years and Q2 of all the years, Q3 of all the years and Q4 of all the years. So it's basically, so it will basically, so in every year you will have Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4. So in the entire data, let's say if you have 10 years of data or 20 years of data, it will show you only Q1, Q2, Q3. But let's assume, so let's assume we have 10 years of data. So Q1 of all 10 years will be shown here. So Q2 of all 10 years. So it will not show the difference of years. So it will just show what is the value of Q1 in all the years. So I'll just show you real-time example as well. But this will show you the combination of year and quarter. So let's go to Tableau. So date trunk quarter. So you can see 2020 Q1, 2020 Q2. So particularly in that quarter, what is the sales. So let me show you. So what is the Q1 value here? So it is basically the sum of all the years Q1. So I'm just selecting the all the years Q1. So if I do the sum 366,493, so that is what is exactly it is showing. So it is not segregate, or it is not bifurcating the years data. So it is combining all the Q1's data. And if you want to get the Q2 data, go to date and quarter and select all the 2020, all the Q2s, 2020 Q2, 2021 Q2, 2022 Q2, 2023 Q3, Q2. So this is the sum. So you can see at the left bottom, $450,324. So if you want Q1 values separately in what in all the years, Q2 of all the years, Q3 of all the years, so you can use date part function. And for date trunk, if you it is a combination of year and quarter. So that is the main difference here. So in year you don't see any difference. Why? Because it is just an year. So both are same. You can use this one or this one. It is same. But in case of quarter, so this is a combination. This is a combination, and this is not a combination. This is just only quarter. This is only quarter. Okay, so now let's discuss about the month. Date part month and date trunk month. So what will be the change that will happen? So the only change that will happen is, so instead of quarter, it will be month here. And instead of here also, function is same, only the date part is getting changed. So these are all called as date parts. So I will tell you how many date parts are there. Date parts. So month, or let's start from year, quarter, month, week, day, weekday. All these are date parts, and you have to use this week parts or date parts in small letters only. So you cannot use capital letters while writing these functions. Let's say what happens if I write capital letters. So if you see, these are written in small letters. So let's say if I'm using capital letters, or even if you use one capital letter, it won't work. It will give you an error. So this is not identifying as a date part. So we have to specify a date part. So that date part will be in small letters only. So you have to remember this thing, that you have to use these date parts in small letters only. So that is the syntax. So that is a basic syntax that you can see. So whenever you write this thing in single quotes, this has to be in small letters. So date part in single quotes, you have to mention year, quarter, month, week, weekday, or day. So that has to be in small letter. And then later you have to specify the date field. So this is the date field which is coming from the database. Okay, so now let's talk about this month. So let's create order date. Double click on it and click on month. And click on sales. So it is giving you only month details. January of all the years, February of all the years, whatever is the values that is here, you can see it here. Now let's see in the date trunk. So let's take order date. Okay, so if you observe, I'm just checking the below parts. So here I'm just selecting the below one. So this will automatically write the date trunk function. So I don't need to manually write any function. So I'm just converting it to discrete. So why am I converting into discrete? So if you see here, so I want to see the month and year details clearly. I want to see the distinct values clearly. So with this axis, I'm not able to see those values. So if I make it as discrete, then only I can see the individual values. So that's why I'm converting into discrete. So if I convert into discrete, I can see January 2022 till December 2023. Okay, so this is a combination. So as we discussed earlier regarding quarter, so this is a combination. So earlier when we have written for quarter, it is a combination of year and quarter. Here it is combination of year and month. Then what about this date part? So date part, it is only months. Only months. It will store, it will give you January, February, March. And what will this January have? January of all the years. Of all years. February of all years. So like this it will have. So I will show you an example. So if you go to date part, so January, how this value is coming, 96,070. So it is actually selecting January 2020, January 2021, January 2022, January 2023, which is 96,070. You can see at the left bottom. If you go here, so it is actually storing all the years January value. So this is how you can represent a data in different ways. So if you want to show in January or in which month you are getting the more sales, so you can say that, let's say in November only you are getting more sales. So that is how you can represent data in different ways. So if you want to find out in which month you are getting more sales in comparing to all the years, so that you can represent by using date part. And date trunk specifically, or you can separately see in which month and year. If you want to segregate the data based on the month and year, then you can use this month and year. So for that you need to use date trunk, and for that you need to select from the below. So as we discussed, so it is using the date trunk for the below and date part for the above. And now let's do for the other option, which is day. And here also we'll see for day. So date part, day, so I'm just converting into day. So the maximum number of days we'll have is 31. So in each and every day, so one of all the months, all the years. So that data will be stored here. And now let's see for date part, date trunk, day. So I'll convert this into the below one and make it as discrete. Okay, so here I can see the combination of day, month, and year. So if we go to this, the only thing that I need to change is I have to use day here, and I have to make sure that these are small letters. So this is only days, only days. So 1, 2, 3, and so on till 31. So maximum number of days we can have is 31. And let's discuss about this one. So it is a combination of year, month, and day. So it is a combination of all these three. Here it is only days. So one of all the months and years. 2 of all the months and all the years. So now let me show in Tableau how it does. So let's take sales. So here it is giving you 1 of all the months and all the years. So we have to select the 1 of all the months and years. So 1 in February, 1 in March. So like this, you have to select all the ones in all the years. So like this, if you keep on selecting all the ones in all the months and years, so that is a value you can see it here. So in each day, so if you want to see in all the years, so on 17th, you are getting the most of the sales. So that way you can represent. So there are different ways of representing the data. So these are the use cases of how date can be used. So, and this is the difference. So if you want to get only days, only months, only quarters, then you can use date part function. Or if you want to use the combination like month and year, quarter and year, day, month and year, then you can use date trunc function. Yeah. So now let's discuss. There are other functions. I mean, by using date trunc only. So there are all the other options. So you can get week number as well. So click on discrete. Okay, so 29 to 5th January, 1 week. So each and every week also you can see the sales. So sales happen in that particular week. You can get those values. So this is written only by changing the week. By changing that to week. And this is a combination of week, month and year. Week, month and year. Combination. So this is how we can make use of these functions. So date has a capability. So if you have date in date format, so you will have these many options. So you can use as year, you can use as quarter, month, day, and you can use the combination of year, quarter, year, month, year, week number. Like this, you can use the combinations. And not only that, you also have some week number as well. So in every year, you will have 1 to 52 weeks. And in some cases, you will also have 53 weeks. So it will also show you week 1 of all the years, week 2 of all the years, how much profit sales that is happening. In all the years, you are getting most of the sales on week 12th. So this is how we can represent the data. So this is also writing date part of week. So this is giving you only weeks information. Starting from week 1, week 2 till week 53. And now let's see the other options. So weekday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday also it will give you. Sunday of all the months, all the years. So that also it will give you. So the function which it is using is it is just using weekday. So you have to just change this one. So if you know this date part and if you know this date part names, so these are date part names. So if you know these things, you can write almost 6 different ways. So 6 into 2, 12 different ways of dates you can create. So you just need to know date part and date trunc functions. So, and if you know year, quarter, month, week, day, and weekday, so you can write 12 different types of functions. So this is to calculate days, Sunday, Monday, or Wednesday, like that. And let me do a duplicate. and click on here. Yeah, in custom also you can select these things only. So same options will be available here. So that is about date trunc and date part functions. So we will discuss some other functions. So there are other functions also. So we have only discussed about date trunc and date part. So we will discuss about the other functions in tomorrow's session. So with that, we'll end this session. So any questions? Yeah, Rakib. Which one? Date trunc? Week basis. Okay. So in this one, it will show you only the week number, week 1 to week 53. So in every year, 52 to 53 weeks will be there. So let's say if you take January, so starting from 1 to 7, let's say consider it as a 1 week. So I will show you the days as well. Order date. Day. Make it discrete. So starting from 3rd January to, yeah, so this is the week 1 of all the days. So now let's see. So this will store for week 1 of all the years. Week 1 of 2020, week 1 of 2021, 2022, 2023, of all the years and months. Combination it will be storing. And when you take this below one, so here week number meaning it will store the combination of it. Week, month will also be there. So if you see 29 December 2019, it is just not 29 December. So it is starting from 29 to 4th January. So even if you see those dates, but it is actually having the days in between those. See, starting from, let's say 29 to 4th January, whatever days will be there, that will be under 29 January. If you say 5th January 2020, it doesn't mean only 5th January 2020. 5 to 11. So all those dates will be considered. So that week, so it means that week dates will be there. Yeah, so that's about date trunc week. Okay, any other questions? Okay, then thank you all for joining. We'll continue tomorrow.